The Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her. The Pink Pulpits Podcast explores the living, learning, and leading of women in the 21st century. How does the modern woman handle the world the gospel way? This podcast is for women in ministry, women surrounded by ministry, and so many more. Join us weekly on Saturdays at 6 p.m. for the Pink Pulpits Podcast, the gospel according to her.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Pink Pulpit Podcast. This is the gospel according to her. That's right. And I know you look like, well, it's not just a her on here. I'll get into that. But I want you right now to share. I want you to tag somewhere, subscribe, go right now and subscribe to our YouTube channel and lock in. I'm just ready to have this conversation with you all today, but I want to make sure that you are locked and loaded for all our conversations this year. Because as you can tell, even from last week, because we found out that ghosting is not God's way. And some of us thought ghosting was God's way. But I heard from so many of you guys, and I'll talk about that too, about how they experience it, because this is a person that kind of challenged me that I was talking about. We'll dive in. But again, subscribe, share, let somebody know. And we're getting ready to jump into a major conversation today. And join me every Saturday at 6 p.m. because like you all that hit me, was like, these are great conversations that are building my faith, that are stirring me up and making me go to a whole nother place in what God's calling me to. So congratulations. I'm really, really proud of you guys. And I'm Lady Nicole Green, your faith coach, the faith chick, the one that I believe that God has really assigned to get us unstuck and unstoppable at this season. And as you guys can see, I want to say happy Valentine's Day. I know it is Valentine's Day. Can I say this? I love you. I love you. And God loves you. And God has so many great things for you. So as you guys can see, I brought my boo Valentine's weekend. I said, you know what? Let me ask him if he's not too busy. Would he join me on my Pink Pulpit Podcast? As y'all can see, I'm tongue-tied because he's here. But he said yes. Can y'all believe it? He said yes to me. Jordan. So Joy, welcome to the Pink Pulpit Podcast.
Well, thank you. I said, Pink Pulpit has been going a long time. I've never been invited to be a guest. So if it takes Valentine's Day to get me an invitation, I'm all in.
You know what? Let me say this. We're going to have more conversations with him. But I really felt like since it was Valentine's Day and because of our conversation last week, he was the one that kind of challenged me in this area of, sometimes we feel like, and if you're saying, what is she talking about? Check out last week's podcast and you'll be able to dive into the conversation.
Yeah, it was a hot topic.
It was really hot.
It was really hot topic.
Because we call it ghosting God's way. And then we learned there is no way to ghost God's way. It is not God's way. But with that being said, you challenged me in an area and really challenged me in being faithful over relationships and growing in faith in relationships. People just, they tagged me, they DM'd me, they called me, they hit me, and they sent carrier pigeons. They hit me on Instagram. They really dived into, well, how do you know, when a relationship is, good or not good, or, how do you know when to fight for the relationship, or can you go back and get a relationship, because people saying that kind of let time pass, and can I go back and get it? And so we'll talk more about that. But because this is Valentine's weekend and, you had challenged me in that particular area, I really felt like there are so many people that listen. A lot of people hit me because I can help you find the one, right? People talk about the one. Mm-hmm. And so many of you may be listening right now. You may be watching right now. You may be saying to yourself, Lady Nicole, I'm looking for the one. I want to know, where's my one? And this Valentine's weekend, you may be saying to yourself, I don't have a boo. I'm looking for a boo. Can I just say this first off the bat? Go and enjoy Valentine's Day with you.
Yeah.
There were so many times that I dated me. I went to the movies by myself. I know you're saying, really? Yes. I went to the movies by myself. I went to dinner by myself. I did a lot of things by myself because I really enjoyed my company. And you were talking about that. I think I'm good company.
Yes, you do. You do. And I enjoy myself. And I remember in those days, a lot of times I would have dinner with God. Like I would literally set a plate and be like, hey, me and God, and we talk and, and it deepened that spiritual walk. So, if you can't be content with yourself, don't look for somebody else to make you content.
That is so
because you're going to be there either way.
So listen, if you have a boo, go have fun with your boo. If you don't, go have fun with you. Date you, hang out with you. You ain't got to fight over the goobers. You got to fight over the popcorn. You got to try to figure out whatever movie you want to go see, you get to go see. So with that being said, again, happy Valentine's Day. Let's chop it up and get to this conversation.
All right.
So a lot of people are asking and saying to me, okay, Lady Nicole, you talked about ghosting is not of God. And so many people are trying to find a relationship or trying to figure out the one. And when do you know if it's the right one? When, you may be in a relationship right now and you may be saying to yourself, I don't know, is he or is he not my baby? And you may be, in a space where you are in what people call dry season. And figuring out, is there one for me? And so today I want to really have that conversation because, you and I have been married for a little bit, but you said 2 decades, right?
Over 2 decades.
But I'm looking at over 30, so you had to eat me off the playground.
Okay.
And so I thought it would be great because I know he's going to be raw. He's going to just say it like it is. And I hope he's going to be on his best behavior, but we'll see. So a lot of women are watching right now and they, are in that space. It's Valentine's weekend and they're feeling like either they were married and now they're not married or have never been married or, have children and kind of trying to figure out the one. And so one of the questions that, when I was talking about last week, someone said that, how do you know when a divine relationship is truly a divine relationship?
Yeah. Well, first let me ask you, do you believe in the one?
That's a good question. See, now he answered the questions. I wanted him to, let me say this. I believe that they could, I don't believe they're just one.
Yeah, I agree.
I believe that God has, somebody that he's established for your life, but he's not going to hold you up if that person isn't. I believe in I got better. I really, really do. And some of you that may sit up there and you thought Boaz was Boaz and he was, you heard me, he was something else. And you may thinking, I let the one get away. I promise you God's got better. So I don't believe that there's just the one.
Right. We didn't work on this before, but I think we probably need a definition of the one. Yeah. And part of what makes somebody the one is coming into alignment and agreement with God.
Right.
So both of us have proof about not just the one, because you had 4, was it 4?
Yes.
4 rings, because when I did propose to her, I said, now, if this don't work, you cannot put my ring in the safe deposit box with the mother 4 that you got.
See, y'all gonna want me to do a podcast on that. And we will. Okay. But yes, I was engaged at least 4 times before I actually was engaged to you.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are, and so we're diving into this part of the conversation, is there was a father wound. So a lot of times I think that we can undermine relationships that, because I really don't have a lot of the horror stories that women have. I really dated great guys. There might have been one. There was one that was a little wonky. But all of my relationships were really good guys that I had a wounding that undermined it or challenged it or jacked it up. And I believe sometimes the one is available and ready, to your point, and you may not be ready. You may have some stuff you need to work through. So I would agree with you.
Yeah. Well, I know for me, one of the things, I didn't get married till later in life. I was like 40 when I got married. And one of the things that got me was I kept having this reoccurring dream that like I'd meet somebody, fall in love, get married, and then 6 months later, the one would come. Now I'm in a relationship. I really did. I think I bought into that concept of the one, and I think that prohibited me in a lot of ways.
That is so good. Okay, so let's talk about the definition. We said we haven't worked on definition. So let me come on with this. We keep talking about it. The one, I think, is the person God aligns with your purpose, peace, and progress, not just your preferences.
Okay, I like that.
You like that? Okay.
I like that.
So, like, the one is about alignment, and not perfection. Because I think a lot of times, we weren't even going to go this way, but I think this may be where we need to go. Some of you are looking for the one, or you may be saying, I think I'm the one, or you may be saying, I think she's the one. And we're looking for perfection.
Yeah. And I figured out this. There's no such thing as a perfect woman. And
wait.
There is no such thing as a perfect woman. And if there was one, she wouldn't want to be bothered with me.
You know what? How I would say it is the one is someone who's perfect for you.
Okay. I can buy that.
You buy that? Okay.
I can buy that.
Like, I think you're perfect for me.
Yeah. And vice versa. There is a synergy. But that word alignment, and I would also add agreement. Yeah. Because, there's a lot of things that even you and I have to conquer. Mm-hmm. But one thing we've worked at probably more than anything else is agreement. Yeah. So I remember like one time we were making a decision, and we were kind of on opposite sides of the thing, and I was talking to some of my male friends, and they was like, well, you need her permission to do whatever. I'm like, no, I don't need her permission, but I need her agreement.
That is so good, because Amos 3:3 says, can two walk together unless they agree? Yeah.
And that's why I think Satan comes after relationships, because, if you ascribe to one who put 1,000 to flight,
and two would put
10,000. It shows the exponential power that comes with two people in agreement. And so, Satan doesn't want your marriage. He wants your
agreement that causes alignment, right?
Yeah.
And the one, those of you looking for the one, thinking you're the one, or you may be married and you're trying to figure out, is he really or she really the one? The one is someone who aligns with your faith, aligns with your values, your direction, your calling, your spiritual hunger, and not just your personality.
Right, because, personality-wise, you and I couldn't be further.
We are apart. So different. Because that's a great point. Because a lot of people, that are watching right now or even listening to us may be saying, but he is so different than me, or she's so different than me. You cannot get two more different people than you and I.
Well, one of the things we've always shared with people, if two of you are just alike, one of you is unnecessary, right? So it is that diversity, people would think because I'm older, that I would be the traditional one and you would be the liberal one, because you dress liberal. I probably dress more traditional, but my values are probably more liberal than yours. You want everything quick. I'm paced slow. It is just, I like quiet, you like sound. We're just distinctly different.
Yeah. No, I would agree with you.
But we align in those other critical areas.
And I think that's what makes this such a powerful relationship, because I believe the power rests in the fact of our differences, because I think that there's this sharpening or this ability to conquer so much ground because of the variation of the differences.
Yeah, and some of it's gifting, but it's also what I call roundness. Like God is always calling you, like if you're extreme in one area, God is always causing you to round it off, so that you can operate in that when you need to, but you can also operate the other way. Like, like I remember you were much better at arguing than me, or not arguing, handling conflict. You handle conflict like way better than me. Like when we were first married, when we had any kind of conflict, I'd be upset for days. My stomach upset. I can't eat. You be in the other room having a sandwich, just going right on about. But I learned.
But now my stomach and you be to no man land.
And it balanced out. Like even you were handling a business matter, and sometimes conflict in business was like that for me. And I remember I got on the phone and listened to you handling the conflict, and I learned from that. So you rounded me out in that area. And now, like sometimes I'm handling stuff and you like, dang, you were kind of cold. You were
I think you was rough. And that's so powerful, because I think sometimes you were attracted to people. And attraction starts the relationship, but alignment, agreement is what sustains the relationship. And I think that's where people have a tendency where when you may be saying the one, because the attraction was there, but now we don't agree on, we can't come into agreement about nothing. And I think the one is connected to assignment. Yeah. This is so key, I think, in kingdom revelation and in kingdom relationships. The one is not just about romance, because we got romance, right? But it's about purpose partnerships that God purposes us and places us with people that are aligned with where we're going and what he ultimately wants to do in our lives.
Well, and I think because God knows what we're going to need before we need it. Yeah. And so God has already buried some stuff in that person that will be an assistance to you. Like for you, for me in particular, I was like real super sensitive at one point, where, a lot of stuff just hurt my feelings. And even though I could cover it up with my macho kind of man thing, I was really sensitive. And I know that's a spiritual gifting, and I need to be sensitive that way, but I needed to know how to temper it. And that was one of the places you helped me, where, now a lot of stuff that would have hurt my feelings, I don't care no more. So you really helped me in that area. And I don't know that I could have carried out my purpose with my sensitivity out of whack like that.
Right. I think that so many of us, especially this holiday, this weekend, we are trying to find that agreement partner, that person that helps surround us, that person that pushes us and aligns with our purpose and destiny, and those that are really looking for it. I think that is such a powerful place to be in, because you do have an opportunity, those that aren't married, to really learn who God has established you to be and where you want to go and what you want to do. And then you purposed in your heart to really align with somebody. Because that's what I think happened for a lot of us. A lot of people, people have asked me, okay, how did you know? When did you know? What was it looking like? But I think that this was a purposing in heart.
Yeah, and really when we got together, believe it or not, it was not really romantic. It wasn't. It was like now we kind of started off like real great friends. Like we talked a lot. Like the first time we went to lunch, it was supposed to be to discuss a business deal that you were going to help me with. We were putting together a TV show, and the person that I had a producer type, and she told me, hey, when you find your producer, you will have this spiritual synergy with them, and like y'all should be able to finish each other's sentences. So when we went to lunch, it was really just kind of trying to explore whether we had that kind of connection. It was not romantic at all. But we talked for hours, and it was just good conversation. We kind of saw some synergy in ways we approached life. Even though we had some differences, there was still this synergy, I would say.
I would totally agree with that. And I think that as people are on this Valentine's weekend trying to figure it out, or you may be in it trying to figure it out, or you just may be in a space where you're looking for the next leveling up in relationship. That this is a huge opportunity to be able to experience that.
Yeah, and it's that three-pronged cord, though. It's got to be you, the person, and God. And if those three elements don't come together, it's probably not going to work. Work long
you're
term.
Saying that God has to be a part of that equation.
Yes, because I think even if one person gets it and God agrees with it, but the other person doesn't get it, it doesn't work. Yeah. And if you can't come on agreement even at that level, don't even worry about marriage. Because it's about marriage is about agreement. It really is. It's agreement and alignment. And the work of marriage is that you have to keep working at agreeing and aligning. Because you're living in a moving, shifting world. And I think that's why you see a lot of divorce, is because people don't keep agreement and alignment at the forefront.
Yeah, wow. See, I know. You're like, and it's time up already. Yeah. Let me say this. It really is such a powerful place to be in. On this Valentine's Day weekend, I want you to feel the love of the Pink Pulpit Podcast. I want you to feel the love from me. I want you to feel the love from Pastor Henzy. We've invited him, you guys, to the Pink Pulpit Podcast. But more importantly, I want you to feel the love of God. That God loves you greater than anything. And when you really lean into that love, that all that God wants to unfold and all the things that God wants to do in your life, you will find it. You will have it. The one will find you. Boaz will knock on the door, because you're in this relationship with God that propels you and launches you to understand who you are, whose you are, and how you're walking in a fulfilled life through Him. And so,
because I don't think either one of us were at that point, right? Because when we talk, even once we figured out, okay, this is more than a business thing, we had what we call deal breakers, where we would have pretty intense conversations about life and what we did and what we wanted and what we experienced. And we both gave each other the right, when we hit a place, we say, okay, is that a deal breaker for you? And often we'd say, okay, I don't know, let me pray about it. Right. And we go back and pray and come back, and then we say, no, I think that's okay, I can handle that. And so it was a work, it really was.
Yeah, so y'all, we're just telling you that this is an opportunity. And it's not work, but what it is it's
intentional is what I really was saying. Yeah. That we were very intentional. Yeah. Like neither one of us was trying to waste a lot of time and didn't want to waste each other's time. We were just very intentional, and neither one of us was like, "Oh, I gotta have this. I gotta make her love me," or I gotta, We just wasn't that. It was like, if we're not in agreement, okay.
So you got the title, right? This is about the intentional you. How to be intentional so that you really live fully into this whole notion of the one. That there's this intention that God has for you to give you hope in a future. And then as you leap into that, as you launch into that, all of what you are wanting or desiring and what God plans for you will show up. So the intentionality of you. So today on this Valentine's Day, from the Pink Pulpit Podcast, from me to you, from us to you, just remember, be the intentional you. Love you. Love the space that God has you in. And when you fall so fully in fullness of that relationship, then every relationship, even those of you that are married, like, I don't know, that this is an opportunity for you to kind of reset. Realign so that you can really have the full till it overflows. So until next time, remember, this is the gospel according to her. And I'm so excited that you joined us this week on the Pink Pulpit Podcast. I'm still tongue-tied, y'all.
Well, I want to tell people, y'all send a whole lot of messages in saying how much you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll get invited back. So tag somebody, put something in the comments. Just let us know you enjoyed it.
Remember, life is a gift. Make the best of yours. I'll see you next time on the Pink Pulpit Podcast.